Welcome back to Born Warrior Tactical Firearms. Today, I'm going to be covering firearm cleaning. First of all, we're going to ensure that the weapon is clear by taking the magazine out, the magazine well. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull it back, release it, fire the trigger. And these little latches right here are called release locks. So I'm gonna pull this back, pull these down, send it forward, pop it again, take the slide off, upper receiver, lower receiver, just normally known as the frame. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the spring and rod assembly. Then I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bolt. Keeping them pretty much in this order. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a wipe down first before I start oiling it, getting all the dirt and debris off the upper receiver. Barrel, the same thing. I'm gonna work my way from the left to the right. Spring and rod assembly, I'm gonna constantly do the same thing as I stated before. Get this thing wiped down real good. Go to the frame assembly, wipe the outside and the inside. And since this is my concealed carry, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and check my batteries out, make sure that the light and laser is working, which they are. Going back to my upper receiver, I'm gonna take a second, turn it on, and I don't think you can see the red dot in there. If you can zoom in and pick up the red dot, you may not be able to see it from here. There she is. Make sure that my battery is serviceable. Take that off. I'm gonna jump right into the cleaning. First thing I'm gonna do is clean my upper receiver. I'm gonna take my brush, a little CPL, put on here. You don't need that much, just a little drop. Scrub it down. Give it a good scrubbing. I'm not gonna touch my red dot because of the lens. Clean that with a lens cleaner and a good rag. Once I get that clean, I'm just gonna go to the next part, which is the barrel assembly. I'm gonna punch the tube, the same thing. Put a little lube on the brush. You don't need that much, just enough to get it inside. So I'm gonna go through the barrel from what a round points in and go out. Swab it a few times. Take that out. And I'm gonna go ahead and punch it with a cleaning cloth. Set this down. Grab me about 2 patches. Same rod. This is something you can do with the brush on there, but I'm gonna take the brush off because I really don't need it because I swabbed it about 3 or 4 times, taking this bore brush off. Go ahead and punch the tube again a few times. Look at it, just a little dirt on there. It's best always to run it through the way the round go, even though I ran it through the front. I'm just using the patches now, opposed to using the bore brush. Once I do that, I'm gonna get 2 more patches, putting that down, changing this out. Get in there, punch the tube. As you can see, the patch is pretty much clean. Put my dirty patches over here aside. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with this. You don't have to put any lube on the rod and spring assembly, or recoil assembly, what some people call it. As far as the magazine goes, no lube or anything on it. All you need to do is give it a good wipe down, check it, make sure you have some type of spring tension on there. Place that down, go into the frame itself, the same thing. I'm gonna clean it, Grab the brush once again, put a little CPL on there. You don't need that much. Scrub it inside and outside. As far as the laser light combo go, I try not to put any compound on there. Again, I'm gonna use a lens cleaner and make sure that thing is clean. I'm gonna go inside the pistol well, scrub that down too, because you do, from the back glass of the casing, you do get powder and residue in here. So I'm gonna go through here, wipe it down real good. Inside and out, tray. Wipe down the light, just a little bit. So I'm ready to reassemble this. First thing I wanna do is put the frame down. I wanna take the upper receiver, put the barrel back in, just like that. Make sure it locks back in place. In the spring assembly with rod, which we normally call a record assembly, we're gonna put that in there. And I want you to pay attention to this. Make sure that the record spring is actually seated in there. Now a little lube. I'm gonna use this lube butter, gun butter. Some of the places that I'm gonna lube in here is just where the slides on the rail. So just a light coat in here. The lube order, honey, say a dot here, a dot there. Some of the places that you don't want to lube, and this is pretty lubed and clean from the CPL also, it's this little weep hole here. You don't want to put any oil or anything in there, because that can actually cause your weapon, firearm, to have a lot of issue. The same thing back here where you had a pin at, this little piece right here. You don't want to put any lube in there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up here. Just a dot, that's all you need. And as far as the frame go, you just need a dot here, because once you use the slide, it's gonna work that in. So you just need a dot here, dot on this piece back here. And I just put it on the slide, on the side of the slide, just to make sure everything is in a good working order. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the upper receiver, put it back on, pull it back, lock it, and I go ahead and put a light lube on the frame, light lube of CPL, just to make sure that it's working well. There, wipe it in real good, just a little dot, just to keep it from rusting. Do my function check by pulling the upper receiver, letting it go forward, squeeze it. Got that detent, holding the trigger back. I pull it, let it ride. And here I just gonna go ahead and release. You hear a metal click. There you go. Weapon is clean. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, share, and like.